How to earn big as a ghostwriter. One of the biggest challenges as a ghostwriter is making enough money to make a living. As you'll discover when you enter the wild world, getting paid to write, is that there's a lot of competition around the world. And they're constantly driving the prices down. And it can be tough. I make a living as a ghostwriter, and I have 2 full-time ghostwriters who work for me. And I know what it's like to be at the customer side of the market and to be at the producer side of the market trying to make a living as a writer. When I first started out ghostwriting, I needed some money about 6 years ago, and I said to one of my friends, hey, if you have any work, and they said, fine, but we're going to play you at the same rates as we pay everyone else, which means I wrote a 35,000-word book, and I get paid $800. That book went on to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Did I get a penny of that? No. Did it feel great? Not really. But I needed that $800. I got the job done in less than a week, so I still made enough money to take care of my family, to pay my bills that week. And that's really where it starts out. When you're starting as a writer, sometimes you're just trying to make those bills, make those payments. Maybe you've lost your job. Maybe you need a little bit extra money. Maybe you've had some type of family emergency, a medical emergency. I've certainly been there. And so your focus is on supporting your family to the best of your ability. But how can you go, like I did, from $800 for 35,000 words to $20,000? And that's all about how you approach your clients. What most people do is called prospecting. That means they're chasing jobs. The greatest example of this is Upwork. Now, Upwork is a great platform. Well, it used to be a really great platform, but you can find tons of workers, and you can also find tons of employment opportunities. But that's the challenge. If you apply for a ghostwriting job on Upwork, you're often competing with up to 65 or even 100 other people who want the same job. When I post a job on Upwork and I get dozens of applications, I have to parse through them. And that means there's a very good chance that your application would get ignored because of something you didn't even think about. You might be the best writer, but because I'm trying to go through 100 people, guess what? I can't read 100 article samples. So we start to sort. And a lot of more savvy hirers will do little tricks like put a secret code word in the middle of the article and say, put this in the subject of your application. I often ask people to record a short video for me when I'm hiring them for jobs. And people don't record a video or that miss that I've asked for a video, don't even read their applications. Doesn't matter. They couldn't follow the first task. I have a friend who posts a job, asks you to ask 3 questions. If you don't ask the right 3 questions, you're out the window as well. So there's a lot of really tough things that happen when you enter a feeding frenzy trying to get a job. That's hard. I've never been hired for a ghostwriting job where there was competition. Every single time someone is searching and using different options and kind of choosing between 3, 5, 10 ghostwriters, I don't get the job. And I have no interest in that. I don't chase the job and I don't do prospecting because it's a really tough way to run your business. Instead, I recommend positioning. Positioning is where you act like an expert and you're aloof. And this can work in job interviews. It's how I got my last job before I retired from working for other people. It's how I get my high-paying clients. When someone calls me on the phone, I start to act like David Duchovny in Californication. Now, he's not a great guy, but that's the only TV show where they have a writer that's really successful and doesn't care what happens. The way he acts, the way he doesn't care because he knows he's good, he knows he could write another book, allows him to have this level of freedom. So I act like a little bit of a rock star writer. And I go, look, I'm not chasing new clients. I only work with people if it's the right fit. That aloofness is attractive because we all want to work with people that kind of don't want to work with us. It's the same in dating, isn't it? We all want the person who kind of doesn't want us. The person who really likes us, well, that's the one whose crush we never return. So start to think about how you can create your positioning, whether it's an expert in a single niche or an expert at a lot of different topics. The way I built my reputation is that I'm fast, so people call me when there's an emergency. If someone hires a ghostwriter and that ghostwriter drops the ball and they only have 2 weeks left to get the book done, my phone rings. Guess what? You got to pay them emergency prices. Price just went up. So I began to develop a reputation as someone who can get the job done well and get the job done fast. And over time, I began to add other elements to my reputation. I'm great at research. I provide a book that's formatted, which a lot of other writers don't do. I help you with the footnotes part of the process, so my books come well researched. And as I began to develop that reputation, and I began to work with more and more higher-end clients, I added on one more thing. I write my book so that it sounds like you wrote it. I want a client who reads a book that's ghostwritten, not just to go, wow, this is a great book by me, but to not be sure if they actually wrote it. That's the power of a great ghostwriter, and that became my reputation. That's why I'm able to charge so much more. So if you want to charge more as a ghostwriter, you develop a reputation and you develop a personality that says, look, I know I'm good. You have to convince me to work with you. And I've been in negotiations before where I'm 2 weeks late on rent. And I still don't even blink because that attitude is how I get paid so much more. I never reveal if I need money. If money's up or money's down, that's not the client's business. All that matters is maintaining your position in the negotiation. So start to believe in yourself. You could do a little fake it till you make it if you need, and develop your area of expertise. Now, of course, you might say, Jonathan, I can do all those things, but how am I going to start to get clients if I don't tell people looking for clients? Well, I can tell you that 99% of the ghostwriters out there don't tell anyone that they're making money as ghostwriters. They keep it as a big secret. I don't do that. I tell everyone. I act aloof. I go to networking events, conferences. I tell people online, I go, I'm a ghostwriter, but I'm not looking for clients right now. In fact, I'm only going to take a project if it's really cool and gets me interested. Guess what? People still approach me. Every single ghostwriting job I've taken in the last 5 years has been from a cold email that someone sent to me either through a friend of a friend or because they read one of my books, not because I did any prospecting. So it can be a powerful message. If people know that you're a ghostwriter, you establish your presence, you can start to make big bucks. And I want to hear your stories. If you're making a living as a ghostwriter, if you have other tips and tactics for how you get paid more, let me know in the comments right below.